starting as we normally do, sitting on your blanket. So we're gonna start just with, let's say 5 nice deep breaths just to get us aware, and om, bit of twisting, and then we'll go into deeper, okay? So palms up, spine lifted. You can do this lying on your back if it feels better, okay? If your low back's real tight this morning, you can lie on your back. Shoulders down, a couple of deep breaths. Let's fill our body, our mind with gratitude. Palms open. So here we are, breathing, grateful for the day ahead, open for the gifts of the day. If it feels right for you, saying a big thank you to the universe, to God, to Mother Earth, you know, if that makes sense to you, just thankful for the day ahead and for the gifts you've been given. We start to think about how much we have. You know, it is our job to be good stewards of those gifts we have and to share them. Share it all out. You know, our gifts are our unique talents. Be a kind steward in this world. Okay, so with that open heart, with a smile, with your breath. Breath is prana, your breath is your life. Yeah, according to yoga. So let's bring the hands back to heart center and continue your deep breathing. And as we om, we share that energy. You know, our unique talents, our beautiful energy with each other. So the O shares it out, the M receives it back. It's a beautiful cycle. Inhale together. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to class. Okay, so let's do a little twist. So right hand behind, and we're going to take a big breath, left hand on the knee, right knee, inhale. Exhale through the torso, okay, not just through your shoulders and neck. Exhale through the torso, and you won't go far. Inhale, lengthen. We're just taking this very softly. Exhale through the torso, just warming it up. Try not to guide with your neck, look all the way back. No, you're looking to the side here. Your torso's guiding how far you're looking. Inhale. Exhale, so the waist is twisting, now a little more into the ribs, so now I'm looking just to the side. Inhale. So we're paying attention, seeing where our body wants to go. Exhale. One more. And your head is kind of coming along for the ride. Okay, it's the last thing. The neck is the last thing. Now your eyes look in the right corners of your eye sockets. Look all the way over. Not your head turning so much, but your eyes moving. Come center. Inhale. Mindfully start to twist the other way. Don't go very far. Inhale, get tall. Support yourself, shoulders down. Exhale, a little twist. And take 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Resist the temptation to really move this through your neck. Go through your ribs, your waist. Last breath, and I've got a good hold on my left knee. Nice. Okay, let's come center. Inhale. Hands to knees. Exhale, seated cat. Inhale. Lean forward. So now we're going to work on anterior tilt. So the over anterior tilt a lot of us have. So we're really going to tilt through the low back and lift the chest. Okay, that's super exaggerated. We're going to work on reducing that a bit. And now we're going to super do a posterior tilt. So tilt back on your low back. Arch. Now tuck the chin in. One more time. So tilt forward. Easy to do if you're up on the edge of your towel or your blanket. Too much arch in the low back. Exhale, go the other way. So I just want us to feel how the pelvis can tilt here. And then back up to neutral. Inhale. And then come on to all fours. And we're going to go side to side with our spine. Okay, so into a C shape, wagging our tail. so we start by letting the hips drop over to the left. Look over to your right foot and create a C. So you're going to feel stretch out in the outside edge of the left hip. Inhale, center. So knees, for me, knees are together. It's a little bit easier. Exhale, create that C shape. Look right over to your foot. The hip is way over. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale. We got to warm our back up here in all the areas of our hip and our QL muscles before we do some deeper hip flexor work, okay? And then we're going to come down, knees apart slightly, or as apart as wide as you want. 3 breaths down in child pose, right? So let's come down. The idea here in child is to really breathe into the low back. Of course, your abdominals are going to move. But let's stretch out the low back, so get your hips down as heavy as you can. That nice deep breathing. Remember, parasympathetic nervous system, the deep 4, 5, 6 count in and out. And then come on up, inhale. Now part of low back is getting the core stabilized and strong, okay? So we start that, a real easy way to do that is with what's called bird dog or cat pose balancing. So right arm, our table balancing, so right arm up. So now, the other part of low back stability and low back strength is the glutes, right? They tend to fall asleep because we sit on them too much. So as your left leg lifts, we did this last week in the Quickie, let's practice squeezing the left glute to lift the leg and hold. Now, don't dip down through the lower back, right? Pull that up so there's a slight pelvic tilt. 5, maintain the squeezing of the left glute, the stretching and also the even low back. 2, breathing into the ribs more than the low belly. 1, exhale, touch down. Other side, inhale. Now remember, as you lift, you squeeze the glute. 5, lower abdominals, like there's a pelvic floor contraction to hold down below the belly button strong. Upper belly ribs are moving. That's hard to do, so don't worry, just be aware of it, that maybe the pelvic floor can have a little contraction. And exhale, come down, okay? Down dog, just for a transition piece. Exhale, bend your knees in down dog and really come back. Then we're gonna go forward, so look forward, step forward. Knees are bent. Bring your hands to your shins and take a flat lower back, or flat back, sorry. So you're halfway up. Push your bum back and notice if you've got this big dip in your lower back, let's take that out a little bit by doing a little pelvic tilt. Put your hand on your lower back and feel the tilt slightly, just slightly. Okay, lengthen through your neck. Take your arms out, squeeze your bum, and lift all the way up. Inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. We're gonna do 1 round of sun salutation C, keeping the knees bent when you forward fold. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, slight forward fold, or slight bend in the knees, forward fold. Tuck the chin in. Right foot steps back, opening our hip flexors. Drop the knee. Okay, feel the big stretch on your back, on your right thigh. You're gonna lean into it. Hip flexors are stretching. Lift the chest. Lift the eyes. We're going slow on this round. Step back to plank. Hold your breath. Knees down, chin and chest touch. Exhale. Cobra. Inhale. Beautiful strengthener for your back. Exhale. Down dog. Right foot up. Inhale. Step forward, exhale. Left knee down. Lean into it, big breath. Inhale, lift the eyes. Step forward, bend your knees to forward fold. Exhale. Start to come up halfway and then all the way up. Inhale. Go back forward, exhale, bend your knees. Left foot steps back. Knee down, lean into it, inhale, lift the heart. Plank, hold your breath as you transition. Knees down, exhale. Cobra, so your elbows pull back and in, inhale. Exhale. Move through it mindfully. Left leg up, inhale. Step forward, exhale. Drop your right knee, lean into it. Inhale, lift the heart. Step forward, exhale. Halfway up, take the big curve out of your low back, all the way up, squeeze your bum. Inhale, hands to heart, exhale. We're gonna step back into high lunge. So step your left foot back, exhale. Walk your right foot over a little bit. Now I don't want you to go back too far because I want you to be able to bend your back knee. I'm gonna do a little pelvic tilting and then hold it. So balancing, getting strength in our legs. Back, don't go back so far, all right? So you wanna bend, be able to bend your knee. Okay, so we're gonna bend it a little, not all the way down to 90, but halfway down. Hands on your hips. You're gonna what you're gonna do is feel your lowest rib and your hip bone get closer together. Okay, so little pelvic tilting. And you can even do this by holding onto your hips and tilt your pelvis yourself. So exaggerated anterior tilt. I've got this big arch in my low back. I'm compressing my lower back. Now the hip bones tilt up. You're gonna feel your hip flexors stretch. So that's a bit much. I don't want to take all the curve out of my low back. I want to find that neutral position. So let's just go back and forth. Posterior, anterior tilting. You've got to bend in your back knee to allow this to happen so your hip flexors aren't so tight. Then you're going to find, this is awesome for your low back and for your hip flexors, just this movement. You feel that right on your back leg. Then what you're going to do is find that neutral position. So there's a slight tilt. Now, can you straighten your back leg as you find that neutral position? It's hard to know if you've got it right? But it's not over-exaggerated one way or the other, okay? It's in that neutral space. Straighten your back leg. Keep that neutral tilt. Pull up through the pelvic floor to support your back. Then take your arms up. Now, as you lift the heart up, don't create more of a curve in your lower back. If that's happening, take a bit of the bend out of your front knee. Okay, keep your neutral spine. So you're keeping that tiny tilt under and you're gonna feel this on your left hip flexor. 5, 4. So we're going to strengthen our legs and flexibility. 3, you've got to keep pelvic floor lifted. 2, 1, we're going to take the other side. Exhale, come down. Step back, stretch it out. Woo, there you go. Up on toes, step or jump forward. Lift the chest halfway, hands walk up the shins. Hold it here, exhale. Arms out, inhale. Lift up, okay? Keep the energy flowing, hands to heart, exhale. Stepping back right foot. Let's just go right into it. Make sure your feet are on train tracks. Make sure you can bend your back knee. Hands to hip bones. Find that over-exaggerated anterior tilt, so the low back, belly stick out, no good. Tuck under too much. See what happens? Everything rounds forward. Okay, let's find neutral. See how that feels. And then do some tilting. In and out. Back knee's a little bit bent. Just do some pelvic tilts here. So I've got my hands on my hip bones, actually feeling the tilt happen. Okay, and then let's find what feels neutral. Shoulders down, heart up, straighten your back leg. Maybe you can go a bit lower on this side. Find that neutral. Okay, arms come up. Feel an extra stretch here as you go. There's a longer fascia chain. We're stretching here, facial chain. Okay, now heart lifts. There's a bit of a lift up through the chest without scooping the low back. So maintain that neutral. Lift, look up. 5. You can have hands together if you want. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Exhale. Plank. Lower down. Lift up. Down dog. Right foot steps forward. Left knee on the mat. We're going to do prayer twist. Left arm. Actually, no. Let's do this. We're going to keep the left hand on the ground. Left leg back a little further. Option knee off the mat, right, after we've done that warm up, or knee down. If knee down, option flatten out your back foot. We're gonna twist, but we're gonna take this left hip bone and we're gonna drop it down to the mat. My right hand is on my right knee, my right foot walks over slightly. Right knee can even angle out a little bit. Twist now, right hand can stay on your knee, or you can lift your right hand up to the ceiling. 5. So the whole deal here is this left hip bone twisting down to the mat. Feel that on the psoas here, the iliopsoas into hip flexors. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Okay, down dog. Exhale. Beautiful. Left foot steps forward. Knee down. Walk the foot over, walk your left foot over a little bit. I'm going to keep my right knee down. Okay, get a big opening in the hips here. Right hand right under the shoulder, left hand on the knee. Even your left foot can angle out a little bit. And I'm going to twist and drop my hip bone right down to the mat. And then revolve. I keep twisting so the hip bone is lowering down, the whole torso is twisting up. 4, keep breathing deep. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, exhale. Down dog. Pigeon right side. Okay, I know we did this last night if you were here. Let's do it again. But let's see if we can stay up instead of coming down on our forearms. So we're going to stretch back. Certainly use your blanket if you want to prop it underneath your hip, especially since we're not going to come down. You may want that little ledge. Now take your foot up a little further, your right foot. Keep your left heel pointed to the ceiling. Hands on either side of your mat. Now watch. So I've got this terrible anterior tilt happening in my low back. So I'm going to bring my belly in. Try to find neutral spine. It's super hard here. We've got too much of a lift. So your chest doesn't have to be lifted up like this. That's awfully hard on your low back. You're looking down. You're leaning forward. Finding the support in your pelvic floor. Lifting the heart. Now exhale, sit lower, right down in the hip. Breathe deep. We're just 2-3 breaths here, that's all. Okay, so I'm not lifting and taking my heart all the way up and squeezing my low back. There's a little lean forward, for sure. There's a little pull in through my abdominals. Sitting heavy on my hip. Then we're just going to switch to the other side. Exhale. Pigeon, left side. Okay, pulling my blanket through, a little bit of lift. First thing in the morning, I come over on that blanket, I pull the foot up, balance through my back leg. So I'm leaning forward, but I am not coming all the way down. I'm pulling in through my lower belly. Lifting the heart slightly, but eyes are down. Come on down there. Feel the hip. Woo, open up. Okay. 2 more. So all these poses, what they're intended to do, the flow, is activate and open. Activate and open. Build core strength, glute strength. Then open the hips. So we've done some opening here. The hip part, we did hip flexors, we did hips. Now we're going to go through and do hip flexors again in the quads. So we're going to come back. We're going to come on the knees. Now you may need to get pillow, blanket. What we're going to do is hero's pose, where you sit down on your heels, or you try to sit between your heels. So I'm going to start putting my blanket right between my feet. See how that feels? Okay, so I've got a ledge to sit on between my feet. Okay, you can take this out and just sit right back on your heels. Okay? I want a bigger stretch on my quads. Okay, so I need to come down lower. I'm going to take my feet apart. Can I wiggle? It's great for your feet too, right? I'm going to wiggle right down between. I have to take my calves out of the way. Okay, now if you need a little bit extra, you can't quite reach the ground, that's where you use your blanket or a pillow. Okay? Ooh, feel that on the thighs. A lot of times it's tight quads that throw our knees up. Okay? So, then we're going to recline. So this is called hero's pose. We're doing reclining hero. Come back. Tight hip flexors are going to tighten up those quads. The whole chain pulls and tilts your pelvis, and the whole low back is sore. Okay, so let's take a few more breaths. Open it up. Nice. Well done, everybody. We're coming up. Inhale. We're going to do plank with toe touches. And down for bridge, core, our glute activation as well. So we're going to step back into plank pose. You can do this on your knees if you want to touch. But I think everybody's way strong enough to be here. Plank, tap, right foot, left foot, tap, tap. Now as you lift your leg, you squeeze your glute. Tap, tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down dog. Jump through to seated. Okay, crawl, step, rolling down, bridge pose. Bridge with a focus on activating glutes. Exhale. Feet on the mat, hands by your sides, just touch your heels so you know you're in the right setup. Feet hip width apart, you're going to feel this on the quads as well. Great for opening what's gotten tight in the front of your body. Inhale, now you're going to squeeze your bum and lift. Don't do a big pelvic tilt to lift. Keep neutral spine, push into your heels, and just lift up. Start the lift, start the lift. Wiggle your arms underneath for support and a beautiful chest shoulder opener. Now, let's squeeze the glutes to lift and keep your knees pointing forward. Don't let your knees splay out. If you have a yoga block, you can put it between your thighs. That's great for, or roll your towel up, your blanket, put it between your thighs and squeeze your inner thighs together. You're going to feel a big stretch down on the outside of your thighs. You've got 4 quad muscles, they're all intertwining. Outside of the thighs will stretch with that, especially if you're tight. Keep lifting now, keep squeezing the buttocks to lift. Knees point directly forward, don't let them come out. 5, squeeze your glutes. 4, 3, chin up. 2, 1, lower down. Exhale. As you come down, notice where your spine is. I've got this huge over anterior tilt here, so I'm just going to come and find neutral position. I'm going to take my feet up, shins parallel to the mat. Find your neutral position. Keep the neutral. Tap down 1 foot and back up. Keep your neutral. Don't engage your shoulders here or your chin. Neutral spine, toe tap. This is more challenging than it looks. Neutral spine, toe tap. If you've been over tilting your spine one way or the other, your hips one way or the other, you're actually going to feel like this is quite challenging to hold it in neutral. And you may have a little clicking in your lower back. I want you to be mindful of that and watch if your back is sore right now. So you're going to stop. Work to hold this neutral for 3, 2, 1. Really good. Exhale. Now feet come together. Diamond pose. Let's open up the hips. Whoo, let this rest. Notice if you went into a big tilt here. Find neutral. Arms can be overhead or by your sides. This is going to be our resting pose at the end here. Take 5 or 6 long breaths. Exhale. Settle the hips open, the knees open. Sorry, find your neutral low back. So that series we just did strengthens, lengthens, activates hip flexors, low back, stretches out hips, and it helps you find that neutral spine, opens up the muscles that keep us in a harmful tilt. Exhale. Two more breaths. I feel my body inhaling. I feel my body exhaling. One more. Knees come up to the ceiling. Shake your wrists out. Move your toes around. Hug your hamstrings into your body. Maybe even hands onto the knees. Rock a little side to side. Big inhale, everybody. Big exhale. Hug your knees in tighter. Stretch your low back out. Okay, hands onto hamstrings. Rock and roll a few times. Come to seated. Okay, rubbing palms together. Good morning. Hands rest over the eyes. Eyes rest in the palms. A big smile. Big thank you to your beautiful body. Carries you through the day, through your life. Hands to heart center. Let's chant. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. And I honor the place in you of love, of truth, of peace, and of wisdom. And I honor the place in you where when you were in that place and I'm in that place, there's only one of us. Namaste, everyone. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day.